BAK CHOR MEE.
Shout out BAK CHOR MEE, boy!
Kidnap my heart, take me with you.
What's up? I'm Adalia on Radio Heatwave on the hottest thing on campus, and I'm here with Jesse, Ruben, and Carl Patrick. So welcome to Singapore. Is it your first time here?
It is my first time here.
What about you?
No, not my first time. Been here a few times. It's good to be back. But where were we today?
We've been lots of places today.
We were at Marina Bay Sands last night.
Mhm.
Chili crab.
Oh.
Yeah.
And bakute.
And BAK
And
CHOR.
nasi lemak.
And
Yes.
BAK CHOR MEE.
Yeah.
BAK CHOR MEE.
Shout out BAK CHOR MEE, boy!
We missed out, is what
Yeah,
you're
you guys
saying.
missed out on that. So
Full of disappointment.
it's okay. Y'all can stay more days here in Singapore.
Alright, yeah.
We can. We have a day off tomorrow,
We do.
actually. So that's, alright, yeah.
Black pepper crab?
Yeah. Let's move on to the interview questions. So, you actually are the manager of Jesse. So, how do you actually discover him, and why do you actually decide to manage Jesse?
Well, I just have an eye for talent.
How did you discover me, Kyle?
Discover
Yeah, how
him.
do you discover him?
Well, the story goes actually way further back. We've actually been friends forever, since college. So I didn't really want to be a manager, or I don't really want to be a manager. So good luck, Jesse.
Alright, I'll see you guys later. Well, good to know.
But it's more like it just kind of happened naturally because I'm more a producer is kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm more like a musician, and I produced his record, and we made it together. So it just kind of naturally happened where I started working with him in that capacity. So it wasn't like a plan, is what I.
Yeah.
what
So
I
everything
mean.
was
Yeah.
very smooth. Like
Yeah.
it was just as if it was meant to happen.
Yes.
It would have been better if it was like, and then I heard this guy singing on the subway, and I was like,
Instantly
who are
knew.
you?
I heard
Yeah.
something in the mountains. These dulcet tones.
Dulcet tones.
What kind of audience do y'all actually have in mind when you write music? So, do y'all actually have different audiences in mind, or is it very similar?
I never think about the audience when I'm writing. I think if you go into writing thinking like, oh, this type of people will like it, it just creatively, it'll just hold you back. So I just try and write something that I think is powerful or moving or catchy or fun, and then I just hope that people agree with me. And sometimes they do.
What about you?
My writing process.
Yeah.
What audience do you think about? When
Oh,
you're
what
writing?
audience do I think about? No, I have a very similar answer. It's not something that I'm like, in the studio, I try to keep out. Yeah, let me start over. Because when you're in the room writing a song, if you bring in other people's opinions that aren't in the room, it just starts to cloud things up and bring unnecessary input into the process. So it's got to come from a real place. As a singer, I believe wholeheartedly that you have to believe what you're talking about. So I think songs written from real life experiences are the best. So you actually know what you're talking about, because that makes for a better vocal performance, even if it isn't perfectly in tune or it's just heartfelt.
That it's actually important to share your personal story rather than write music that would do well commercially. Is that right?
I'd
Yeah.
like to accomplish both at the same time. I think that's
A good
the
combo.
puzzle.
Yeah.
But also, anyone who says like, I'm gonna sit down and write a hit today, like you never have any idea what's gonna work. It's almost impossible.
It's like a viral video. You can't really
Exactly.
get it popular,
Right.
My mom actually texted me once being like, how can we get one of your videos to go viral?
Oh.
And I was like, there's no amount of texting that's gonna help me
Yeah.
help you understand how dumb this question is. It's like,
You call her and like it's not possible.
yeah, terrible.
She wants to help.
She wants to
Yeah.
help. I love you,
Her
Mom.
heart is in a good place.
None of my videos are. I need more cats in my videos. Little tiny animals.
Yeah, hopefully Radio Heatwave will help you make
This video
Yes.
is gonna
Oh,
go
is this live?
viral.
Is this live?
Yeah,
is live.
This is live.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
So, Jesse, you actually mentioned that one of your favorite parts of your job is playing in house concerts and private events. So, do you have a story to share with regards to that?
With house concerts?
Yeah.
I've gotten to play at some pretty cool places as far as like people's weddings or like a surprise party for somebody. But I just like playing in those small environments because it's really intimate and there's nothing in between you and the people who like your music, and it's just like a very family vibe, and it's really fun. When you do play music for a living, like without people who care about the music you make, you literally can't afford to live. So getting to interact with those people in like small spaces is always really special.
What about you? What's your favorite environment for playing music?
Well, I actually, Jesse and I played a show like almost a week ago in Manila. And it was my first concert in 7 years. Actually, the last speaking of being here 7 years ago,
Yeah.
the last concert I played was in Singapore. Before this one in Manila last week. So it's been a long time, and that show there were still like fans that were there, and it was just really special. People have been waiting and told me stories about like having the songs having like a real impact on their lives. So last week was just an amazing show. It was super sweaty. It was like extremely hot. There's no AC in the venue. And we're actually playing tonight at Kilo Lounge too, so it's going to be a similar thing.
And
You'll be there?
Radio Heatwave is
Awesome.
actually going, so
Amazing. You
we'll
too?
see you later.
Awesome.
Jesse, I understand you had to take a break from music for a while as well.
Yeah.
So what's the best part about coming back to music?
Oh, not being sick in bed all the time is pretty great. I had never thought about what it would be like to have a chronic illness until I got one, and I am not made to physically suffer like that for so long. It was really, really scary. I didn't know if I'd ever get to play music again, and I didn't know if I was gonna survive, honestly. So being here, doing stuff like this, getting to meet you guys, none of this was possible 5 years ago. Like I couldn't walk in a straight line. Like I couldn't sit up out of bed. I forgot the words to all my songs. Just like the list of things that was going wrong was just like staggering. So all this stuff is super exciting and fun, and just being able to sit here and talk in complete sentences that like kind of make sense is it's pretty amazing. It's way better than the alternative. And the crazy thing is like everywhere we go, and I talk about my experience of being sick, I meet people that are dealing with similar things, you know, similar symptoms, similar attitudes, similar situations where like their friends and family might not believe them. And that's one of the worst parts too, is like I felt like I was gonna die, and everyone, doctors, friends, family, everyone was like, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine. And it can really take a toll.
What about you? After your 7-year break, how do you feel about being able to play music and have a show?
Good question.
Very good question.
Really?
So the reason for the break was I was like just burnt out on performing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sing anymore. I kind of felt like I was done with that part of my life. I was doing tons of shows every year, and at a certain point it kind of became more just like a job. And I was just like told where to be and show up, and I was like a puppet basically at a certain point. So I just gave up. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun. I wasn't connecting with the songs anymore after a certain amount of time. So I stopped, and that was, I literally didn't look back, and that was 7 years ago. And I became more of a producer. So I was like helping other artists and recording their music and writing with other people, and Jesse being one of them, yeah. And that, it's kind of funny because it's like the grass is always greener, because that started to happen to me also as a producer. And then I was like, well, now I kind of feel like I'm ready to start using my voice again, and I'm thankful to Jesse for me to be on this trip, because we've been doing a lot of stuff together, and this has been a big reason for, Jesse has been a big supporter in me doing my own thing again. And like honestly, I could not be happier. Like I was crying in Manila at the show. We had a meet and greet, and there's just kids bringing, you know, old CDs of mine, and they're like broken and taped and retaped again, and I was literally like holding these CDs, like opening them, and like they were about to fall apart. Like clearly they had just loved this thing, and just like taking it everywhere with them, and knew every song word for word. So that was like rocket fuel for me. That like really
ignited the fire.
Big time. Yeah, it was one of the best nights of my life, if not the best night of my life. Like it just was so special. And we're about to do it again tonight.
Yay!
So needless to say, we're excited.
Yeah, I hope it will be as special as...
I'm sure it will be.
Whatever happens,
I'm sure it will be.
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually the end of our interview.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys wanted to perform a song.
We'd
for
love to,
us.
yeah.
All right, so This song is the reason why we are here. This is a song of mine called "This Is Why I Need You," produced by the ever so talented and handsome Kyle Patrick.
What else?
Keep going.
Very humble. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have so many questions and places to go. There are too many options, far too many unknowns. This is why I need you. And everyone talks now, but no one is right. There are too many armies with no one to fight. This is why I need you. 'Cause you make the darkness less dark. You make the edges less sharp. You make the winter feel warmer. And you make my weakness less weak. You make the bottom less deep. You make the waiting feel shorter. You make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. There are too many problems and no one who cares. There are so many roads, they all need repairs. This is why I need you. And there's not enough chocolate, there's too many chores. There are so many mountains that I haven't explored. This is why I need you. 'Cause you make the darkness less dark. You make the edges less sharp. You make the winter feel warmer. And you make my weakness less weak. You make the bottom less deep. You make the waiting feel shorter. You make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. And you keep the ship moving forward. And you make it easy to try. You make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. You are the who, love is the what, and this is the why. You can clap, it's okay.
Golf clap, golf clap.